baby. There. All right, welcome back to Counterculture Woodshop. Today, I'm going to build a couple more bookshelves like this. This is just a grape box, I believe, from a winery. There's the winery. And since I don't have more grape boxes from a winery, I'm going to make them out of some crappy old pallet wood. So, step one is to strip this, plane it, mill it, and get it ready. So, let's get started. All right.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
All right, we got it all milled up. It looks like this. As you see, this is like a hardwood of some sort. I'm not really sure what this is. And the back here is a couple pieces of poplar or balsa.
Yeah, baby.
And I think these are going to be the back of the bookcase. So our next step is to mill this down to, there we go, these are 6 1/4. So I've got to cut these to 3 1/8, and then same thing, we'll glue them together. It's pretty self-explanatory. So the next step is to start cutting our tops and sides. So let us begin.
To know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it.
So our next step is I'm going to biscuit joint these together, which is basically just these little guys. And they go I did one earlier. Just right on the side here, another one on the outside, and they expand, help hold it together. So I'll put 3 in each, and then clamp them together. Alrighty then. Alright, it's the next day again, and now we've got these glued together. Normally what I would do is I would scrape the glue off a bit and run it to the planer. But the planer, this is as thin as it goes, so that won't work. What I am going to do eventually is get a smaller planer for things like this. I did when I originally made this shop. That right there was for a little Mastercraft planer. But I blew it up. The switch went on it. And then I ended up getting the big planer off a buddy of mine. So I never replaced it. So that's the plan. So what we're going to do is we're going to attempt to sand this with, I got 80 grit. This might not be aggressive enough. Another thing I could try to do is belt sand it, but I same thing, I don't have the belts, and I'd have to figure a way to hold this in place while I run the belt sander. So we're going to do this to tap the old jitterbug routine. Sand these. Hopefully get the glue to come out. It should. I mean, it's not that, they're not that big. So I have faith. So there we go. Let's just get on with it. Good morning, everyone. It's a fine morning that it is. So today, I'm going to flatten this guy off a little better. You can probably see that little wibble to her. So the basic plan here is I'm going to take these guys and just screw them down so this thing can't move. And then I'm going to do belt sand this whole thing fairly flat, and it'll clean it right up. And then we can get back onto just the sanding, clean all these up, and then we'll get to assembly. So that is the game plan for today. So hopefully by before lunchtime, if all goes well, I'll have this thing glued and nailed, cleaned up, and then we can probably get a coat of stain on it. let's get to it.
King of the road, trailer for sailoring. Man, trailer for sailoring. Ain't got no cigarettes, but trailer for sailoring. Give, man, me, don't pay no. Trailer for sailoring.
So the next step, like I said, is to start sanding. So I've got some paper out ready to go. So I'm just going to start cutting and just use my old jitterbug here and sand it all. So sorry, just had to let the dust settle for a little while before I came back in. This place needs a dust collector, and that's on the list of things I'm going to get for the shop eventually. So stay tuned, and we will hopefully install a dust collector one of these days. All right, but on to sanding. The task at hand.
Don't pay no you. Trailer for sailoring. Rules to let. Trailer for sailoring. Ain't got no trailer for sailoring. Give man of me by no means. Give the road. King of the road.
All right, we've got done sanding for the most part, and it looks, back looks like this, but I haven't had an idea on that, and bottom and sides like that, so they look pretty good. But I've been wanting to do this for a while, so I've got this old Calvin and Hobbes by Bill Watterson, a classic. A bona fide classic. If you don't agree with me, well, you're just wrong. So there we go. But I'm going to take one of the colored comics. This one, I believe. And I'm going to cut it and laminate it to here, plus probably another one of, we're going to go with Spaceman Spiff, one of my personal favorites. And put it on the top, and then probably use the black and white ones underneath it all, and then use them sort of as a frame. And this here, we'll call this the shelf for now. Sort of hard to see. We'll call this the bottom, so you're looking at it. And that will go there, and then the top one will be here. But I need to go get glue. So that is the only hiccup we have right now. So we are probably going to do this tomorrow, because I have to take my wife into town tomorrow, and since the hardware store is about half an hour down the hill, half an hour up, so it's an hour out of our way, I will continue on this tomorrow or the next day when I get home, and we will get it, all these trimmed to size, and this trimmed once we get these glued on. So I'm going to use like a 3M contact cement. It'll go on pretty quick, it'll dry pretty quick, and then I can get right back to pretty much working on it. So that is now the plan. So we shall see how it works, and once these are on, I will actually put a finish over it. It'll all look like it's aged and been there for quite a while. So we didn't need to actually make this. We could have just used a really thin piece of plywood, because you're never going to see it, but we made this so when you take it off the wall, you'll be able to see how neat it looks. So there we are. All right, so until tomorrow. All right, I think I've got So the next step will be to glue it with, I'm using this 3M, it's basically just contact cement. What you do is you shake it and you spray, say this is the back, this thing. You'd spray this, you let it sit for like 5-10 minutes, and then we spray each one of these backs and let them sit so it's just tacky, and then you set it down. But you get kind of one kick at it, 'cause once you set it, it's there. So wherever it is, once you put it down, that's where it is. So I'm going to spend a bit of time numbering these in the order I want to put them back on, sort of plan it out in my head. And I've already taken a picture of it so I have a reference, and then I will basically just number the backs of each one, lay it out on this table, clean this off quite a bit, lay it all out so it'll go on, like the edges will all go on. This one will be obviously one of the last ones to go on because it overlaps this. So just little details like that you got to just kind of keep in mind when you're doing it. So I'll probably end up doing it tomorrow. It's getting late. I have to get up early tomorrow. So we will get back to this. This should be done hopefully by the end of the week, and then we'll get together and assemble the whole bookcase and we can see how it looks when it's done. All right, so till tomorrow. All right, next on the to-do list is I'm going to take these guys here. I'm going to cut my hard edge out of it. So we're just going to rip them down to thickness, basically 1/2 inch. So we'll just rip these to 1/2 inch. These right now are 1/2 inch by 3/8. And that will be the width of our hard edge, and then I'll rip them down there so it'll all fit, all look good. So let's get on with it. So sanding's done, and it looks a lot better. It's all cleaned up. The edges look kind of nice. So I'm going to take a shelf out, give it a quick stain. Got to do some running around this morning, and then by this afternoon we'll get a clear coat on it, and we'll hang it on a wall tonight and get some pictures. All right, let's get this done. All right, so it's dried now, and now I'm just going to these little pinholes right there and there and there. Got a couple spots, and there's a little ding near the bottom here. I'm just going to fill those with a black wax I have. It's really nothing, it's just any old wax will kind of do. And then once that's done, I'm just going to give it a paste wax, give it kind of a luster, and we're going to see how that does, and I think that's all we're going to do to her. So that's pretty much the final step. So once this is done, I'll give you a couple shots of it, we'll hang her on the wall, we'll call her a day. All right, she's all done, and there it is, all finished up. Looks pretty good. And this, of course, is how it started. So just remember, just because it looks super ugly to start with, doesn't mean you can't make something pretty cool out of it in the end. So never judge a book by its cover. There we are. Just gonna go hang it on the wall, take a couple pictures, and that's the end of this one. And so the next project is actually going to be, some of the more eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed this thing sitting in the background. This is my start of my powder surfer. So this is basically a bindingless snowboard, and my buddy's been bugging me to make him one. So I'm actually going to start his and get it to this stage, and then I'll finish them both off at the same time. So next time I will start building this and probably start milling up some stuff for my kitchen too. So it's going to be a double project. It's going to be sort of not all at once and not going to go from beginning to end like I have with the last few. It'll be like segments. So there you go. That's something to look forward to. So till next time, have a good one.
Saturday night, sensational double thrill, stock car spectacular at 7:30 at Norwood.